There was no snowstorms. Hey, guys, welcome to the NSL Weekly Podcast. I know there wasn't one last week. Sorry, my life was a little bit hectic. My dog is pregnant. Had to deal with that. And, just other shit. It was a busy week. But we're back this week, talk about the season. I'm sorry we probably didn't get to draft grades, which we would have done last week, but that's okay. This week we'll get into a little we're going to get better.
We did that the week before.
Oh, well, good. We're going to get better here. This week we're going to talk about these first 6 seasons and how we go. First thing, before we talk about anything, we only have one undefeated team left in the league, guys. So, Lamarck's undefeated. I know you probably haven't played him, Bengals. Do you have any feelings on Lamarck being undefeated? Do you think this is going to be his year to win a Super Bowl?
I'm not sure.
Fair enough. I know you haven't played him.
Right.
You definitely know that.
BM, I know you have played him. What are your thoughts on Lamarck?
I think he's going to go to the Super Bowl, but that's going to be a hard thing, so I wouldn't know. Unless who he plays against, then I will pick him, but it matters who he plays against in the AFC.
He's still rocking CJ Beathard, too, so.
Yeah.
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I hear you now.
Good. Okay.
All right, Extreme 08, what do you think about 49ers being the last undefeated team? Do you think he's going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl this year? This is going to finally be his year?
I don't know. I mean, it's been so sporadic with people making it that haven't made it before or making it as far as they have. So you never really know who's going to do what.
JR?
It's a tough one. I will say he's making it to the conference finals. I know he's making it there. It depends. I think you and him make it to the conference finals, and it's going to be like a clash. Whoever gets that.
All right. Now, we only have one team that has no wins. Do you happen to know who that is, Mario?
Yeah, that would be me.
Okay. What's going on with your season, man? It's not come through in how you wanted it to?
I had an ugly game the last game against the Chargers, but mostly I've been on the short end of some close games. I think I lost the first one to the Steelers by a point.
Ooh, those suck.
I lost to the Bengals. I lost to the Browns. I think it might have been less than 10. I know I lost to the Cardinals by 8, but I've had a couple close games that I came up on the wrong end of.
That sucks. Going through that, though, I want to talk about some disappointments this season. People that have really thought they were have shown promise in the last couple of years and are definitely not showing promise this year. There's 3 of them in particular. I want to know who you guys think has the best chance of turning it around out of these 3. We got the Mr. Extreme 08 over here, the Browns, 1-4. He's been in the playoffs. He's been in AFC championships, and he is 1-4. His season has not started off well. We have the Falcons and Bates at 1-4. He is not also just not turning it around. And maybe my most surprising is Waka at 2-4, with one of those being a complete sim win last week. Had he dropped that, he'd went to 1-5. He also has a loss against an 1-4 Raiders team at JT. He did lose Matt Stafford, but pretty crazy. DeMario, I know you probably don't know these people, but just based off of guessing, who do you think is the best chance of turning it around?
Even without Stafford, I think Walker's probably the one that has the best chance to turn it around.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, BM?
I'm trying to look right now. I want to say Bates has an easier chance because it's not like anyone's 5 right now in that division. They're all still a little bit low besides the Tampa Bucks. So
yeah, the Saints are 1-5 also.
Yeah, so it's not like he has a hard road, and Mr. Extremes is the same way too. So if he can turn around,
the Panthers, after starting out 3-0, have dropped to 3-3. So
yeah, so like both of them can make it. Waka's the only one that I think kind of be hard for him to jump up. With you and like the Packers and the Chicago already having more wins than him.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's a very realistic way of looking at it. JR, who do you think out of those people has a chance of coming back?
I got this. When I'm saying I say I just think they could turn the season, not necessarily win the division, but turn it as far as winning, I would, it would be a toss-up between Walker and Bates. Walker, he's a good player. He's going to work out his kinks eventually. And Bates, he's just like the real Falcons. They get streaky, but when he catches fire, he's on fire.
The one thing Walker cannot work through is his quarterback is still hurt for another 6 weeks, so he's rocking Eli Manning out there.
Yeah, I also didn't know that. Yeah, I'll go with Bates, definitely.
That's you have Eli Manning.
Everson has been having a down year. He only had 1 sack against Walker. I think he only has in 6 games 4.5 or 5.5 total. But one of those sacks was a hit on Stafford that put him out for 9 weeks, so I'll take it. Extreme, I skipped you over. Out of those people, do you think you're gonna vote on yourself here, turn it around?
No, it's not me. Something's just not clicking. I don't know what's going on. I actually think that. Well, I guess I'd have to give it to Bates in the division. Turn it around, because Walker with your guys' division is just ridiculous. I mean, it's not even fair, and to not have his number 1 quarterback. I mean, I don't know how Eli works for him. But
not well.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with Bates.
Okay, fair enough. Interesting that those 3 are not up to par. They've played pretty well. There also is another shutout I want to give. I've been looking at some of the analytics, and the league in general has done much better this year. A couple people, the Giants have not relied as heavily on Odell. That may be because he's been hurt, but regardless, his stats aren't 100% of the time Odell, getting the ball. Also, one has changed his game considerably to fit our scheme here and has gotten a lot better with analytics is the Chiefs. Last year, he got 3 players suspended, and this year he's on pace for 0. Hitting his rookie wide receiver a lot, which last year he was only hitting Kelsey and Ware. So just want to give a shout out to some people getting in these analytics. Not a lot over 21. Last year, I think we had like 27 at this point of the season, and now there's maybe like 6 that I'd really look at. So just props to everyone for that. Let's go over any memorable games you had this season. Then we're going to go over some of these transactions. Demario, do you have any memorable games this season that you just man, I wish that would have went my way or close enough?
Definitely the Jets game. That game went to overtime. I iced him, drove down the field. He iced me, and then he drove back down the field and won.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
I definitely should have had that game, and I blew a lead that game too.
Well, that sucks. You're definitely on pace for the number 1 overall pick right now, though. This is actually a pretty talented draft one I'm seeing, so if you want to be the number 1 overall pick, this is the year. BM, any memorable games you played this year?
I think the Dolphins when I lost to them, since I lost my quarterback for 3 weeks. The one I drafted, and I had to pick Chad Kelly, and somehow I managed to start winning the game, and then I started blowing it. But at least I didn't lose that much.
Extreme, any memorable games? You played 08 or 09, I think, already. So any memorable games? I know.
Horse shit. I got a pass interference call at the end. I think it was did we go to overtime? And he just kept running down the field, and I couldn't stop him and just scored, and it was all bad. But that wasn't as bad as getting shellacked by the Chiefs. I got my ass smoked. So, I mean, it's been, touchy season, but we'll see if we can try to change anything around at all.
Well, you did trade Kaiser, but we'll get to that in a minute. But good news is I haven't won the scouted quarterbacks this season. This is not the typical NSL 1 quarterback season. There's going to be at least, from what I'm seeing, 3 or 4 draftable quarterbacks in the first round. Get past that. JR, you had any memorable games yet? I noticed you just won a game this week or last week versus who was it?
Trending?
Yeah, Trending Now is a good opponent.
Yeah, that was this weekend, but my most ones were the Raiders was a real good one. That came to the final drive. His receiver dropped I think it was a 4th down catch that would have given him the first. And after that he had no timeout, so it was within the last seconds. And my game versus the Jags was a heater one.
Jags is always a good heated one.
Yeah, me and him always play well against each other. My defense came to play. That's when Hal's first stepped it up. I think he had 2 interceptions that game, 3 the next. And then my linebackers were hit and made them fumble like 2-3 times. They were hitting. They came to hit.
My league, I don't really, for me, it's a tough season. I have blown out 4 out of 6 of my opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I have beaten Lions, and honestly, it was a close game. I won by 10, but when he lost Stafford, it was kind of he was still having to come back at that point. And with my corners, it was just not likely. The Giants is the one I'd say is most memorable. I lost that by 6, but he didn't convert a 4th and 15. I was up, and I think he had to score a touchdown to win. Something happened at the end of the game where I had I think maybe he converted a 4th down or something, where I had the game in hand and my team just gave it up.
I will say.
So I'm happy. I'm happy, honestly, that I'm competing. And that was before I gave up. That was before I gave up Tyrod. So I had put up 38 and 39 points before trading Tyrod, which is up 40 points a game and trade your starting quarterback. That's a ballsy move. It paid off, but
yeah, I will also say.
But yeah,
another most memorable. It was my first game. I got my ass beat. I couldn't even get it in the end zone. I lost 27-3 to the Colts. But after that game, I would say I sat there, sat back, reevaluated everything I do. I sort of looked at it a different view. I said, well, I ain't able to. So I put myself in a better situation. I will say that. He made me relook. It was one of them games. You're rethinking life and everything.
Damn.
Yeah, he just completely destroyed me all aspects. The score tell you everything. It probably should have been like 50-something to 3.
I will see one thing I'm happy with is Dalvin's rushing attack this year. He's number 3 in the league in rushing. I have a lot of trouble rushing the ball, but Dalvin has been steadfast for me. He hasn't got hurt, which is the main thing I've been worried. That dude just loves to fucking get hurt, but steadfast. So, all right, going past that, we're going to go over some of these transitions, say who you guys think won and lost them. We're going to go over some of the bigger ones. There's quite a bit since it's been the week, but we're going to go over some of the bigger ones. Higher profile people. First off, Sterling Shepard traded from the Giants to the 49ers for middle linebacker Ben Hawker, a 2nd and a 5th round. Who do you think won that, DeMario? Ben Hawker is a 70-something overall linebacker, pretty much a throw-in. So it's a 2nd rounder for Sterling Shepard, all in all. Added in with some extra pieces. What do you feel about that?
Giving the Niners an extra weapon, I'd have to go with the Niners there. Their linebacker,
Okay.
The Giants probably uses the linebacker, and there's probably some of the linebacker he uses. So it could end up benefiting him, but right now it looks like the Niners won that trade.
All right, BM?
I think it's an even trade. I think he does use a linebacker. And, given Sterling Shepard and how young he is and how, his stats and everything, I think it's an even trade to me.
All right, Extreme?
I'd say it's fairly even, especially if the Giants keep going, because that 2nd round pick becomes, or not the Giants, but the Niners keep going. And that's going to be a late 2nd round pick. And for Shepard and what the trade was, I'd say the Niners have a good chance of it being the winning trade.
Okay, fair enough. JR?
Oh, it's an even trade, but you gave Lamar weapons. Shit. He already man, he do magic with no weapons. Fucking, I remember we played season 1. That tight end he had, I don't know. It looked like fucking a wide receiver catching passes.
I'm giving the he does. I'm giving the advantage to Lamarck. I think trading a late 2nd round for Lamarck. You got to understand it's a late 2nd rounder for Lamarck. He's not drafting somebody Sterling Shepard style in the late 2nd round, so I don't even understand the trade. I think it heavily favors Lamarck. I think he did a great move there.
I mean,
good job, Mark, and he's showing with his undefeated record.
Unless they get drafted like ASL just had. That's all.
All right. Next biggest trade was Deshaun Kaiser. This happened in week 3 for Tyrod Taylor and my second round pick, both the people in the trade. I can tell you one person that thought this trade was very lopsided towards me was Waka, but to be fair, he's probably a little biased on the whole situation. So pretty much Kaiser for Tyrod, Kaiser was an 85. He is an 85 still. He hasn't improved. For Tyrod, an 88 second round pick. What are your thoughts on that, Bengals?
I think you got the better end of it because you got the younger player. Tyrod is what he is. He's not going to really get any better than what he is. You still got time to grow.
Well, I think Extreme's whole idea is that he didn't think Kaiser was his quarterback of the future, so he figured he'd get something for him now. But BM, what are your thoughts on that?
I think for getting a young quarterback, you probably stole a little bit of it because I know how Tyler played since the Bills and everything, and it's gonna be hard with him. I feel like.
Let me just say that Tyrod also then got traded to the Ravens for who was it?
It's his brother.
Kessler. I got
for
Kessler.
Cody Kessler. So
he got him back.
He ended up getting. To be fair, he ended up getting Cody Kessler in a second. In all fairness,
Jesus.
Jr., what are your thoughts on this trade?
It was a fair. I just didn't get it. That's the whole thing. Like he got Tyrod, turned around, traded him for Kessler. Then he used to have Kessler in like season 1. I really didn't get the trades at all, but they were fair trades. I just didn't understand what he was thinking.
What happened is that I was going to, like I said, I wanted to get rid of Kaiser anyway. I plan on seeing if I can get a quarterback in the draft or whatever I could do. I already have one that I was going to start, but I traded for Tyrod. The rookie that I started went down for 9 weeks, and Tyrod becomes starter, and I was like, oh, fuck this ain't happening. So I panicked. I ended up throwing – it was a bad game, and I was like, well, I'll take Kessler back if he'll give him to me. I was like, because I prefer Kessler over Tyrod. But even though Kessler, I still cannot use a running quarterback. And both of them, basically, Tyrod more than what Kessler is. Kessler's West Coast. So I just need to get something where I can actually do something and throw the ball. So
I understand your thought process. I think you were thinking that Taylor was never going to see the field. Problem is he did, and apparently the running quarterback style is not yours. I actually wasn't doing too bad with Tyrod on the running quarterback style. I might try and hit Ravens up for him back somehow, but awful. But Kaiser's been doing okay for me. The reason I saw any value in him because he's still 23, he's still great, growable. He does make some bad passes, probably not as bad as Tyrod, but Tyrod has that 91 acceleration, 89 speed also. And like I said, I was putting up 40 points with Tyrod. I made a bold decision there. I have the read option has not. I mean, I went the read option with Tyrod, lights out. I ran for a 60-yard touchdown with Tyrod with the read option. The read option Kaiser, usually a fumble. So my read option is one of my favorite runs in this game. And to be fair with Kaiser, now to also be fair, I haven't lost a game with Kaiser. So what can I say? I mean, I beat Walker with Kaiser. We all know Walker gives me some fits, but Kaiser steadfast. The only problem with Kaiser is he's throwing. It seems like either he's throwing a miraculous touchdown or a pick. Man, I just got to even them out, get those picks down a little bit. So we'll see how this. I don't think we'll even be able to judge this trade until we see what the Browns get at quarterback in the offseason. If they, I think they had a plan in place. I think if they can execute it, it'll be a little bit more even than we're seeing right now. So we'll see what's up with that. Let's go with the Saints trading Alvin Kamara for a second. What do you think? Thoughts about that, Mario?
That's a big gamble because Kamara is a big pickup. It depends on what their second round pick ends up becoming, but It's gonna be
Let's
kinda
keep in
hard to
mind
get-
this is pre-roster update Kamara. So he is 88 speed, 88 acceleration.
To who it was again?
But yeah,
Alvin Kamara to the Jags for a second.
Ugh.
Go ahead, BM.
That's if the Jags don't make the playoffs. I think if the Jags don't make the playoffs, I think Louis got a good deal. But if the Jags do make the playoffs, then it's kind of like you're screwed because you got a late pick for a second round. That's why I think.
Okay. Extreme?
No, it was Kamara, and what was the whole trade? Just Kamara for a second?
That's what it's saying right here.
Okay. Was Kamara the starter in New Orleans?
No, I don't think he was.
I don't believe so. I think Ingram's the better running back on the pre-roster. You got to understand, this is pre-roster update. This is the 80 or 78 Kamara. This isn't the 88 Kamara we see now.
I don't think that's a bad trade at all for a second rounder for Kamara. Then, I mean, it's not like you give up a starting running back, so that's a pretty good trade.
He uses some guy named C.J. Owens.
Okay, JR.
Even though he's a 78, that Kamara's still a beast. I'm not gonna lie. When I was playing Maze, I'd be like, man, Kamara fucking catches, he runs. He's a 3-down back. Like you just gave him.
The only reason, yeah, I think the only reason he traded him or traded for him is because the Leonard Fournette keeps going down, much like Cook.
Oh, I know what the Jags traded for him. Trust me, we're in the same division. I
think the Saints won about 400 picks this season coming up too. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good trade. I'm not gonna say it's a bad trade. I was glad they traded away Kamara and Asa, so I don't have to face them in both leagues in the same division. You know.
All right, one other big trade here. It looks like the Falcons traded Deion Jones to the Bills for Preston Brown. Deion Jones is an 88 quick overall development at 24. Preston Brown's a 26-year-old 81 normal development and a first rounder. So it's a first and Preston Brown for Deion Jones to the Falcons from the Bills. Who won that trade, Demario?
that first round pick could end up being good if it's a deep draft. So I have to say, picking up that first rounder with who did he get with him?
And the Bills are not Preston Brown. Yeah, and the first rounder. The first rounder right now is a 15th overall pick. All right, BM.
What was it again? Preston Brown. Yeah.
Preston and a first for Deion Jones.
First round could do a lot of things. It matters how.
Okay. Extreme.
I think the Falcons won. They got a replacement for Jones and a first round pick. I mean, there isn't any reason why Preston couldn't start. So I think it was a good trade, and I think it favors the Falcons by far.
Okay. JR?
It's easy to me to pick. It's the Falcons. Like, I didn't see why there was a first round in there. Like, if you take away the overalls, just look at every stats, they're pretty much exactly the same player. Except one's 23, one's a little bit older. Probably got like a little bit of more awareness or play rec or something like that. But they're damn near the same players, so they both got quick.
All right. Let me. I'm going the different route. I honestly think the Bills won this trade. They do not both have. Oh, they do both have quick. Preston Brown is quick, but he has 78 speed. That right there means a lot. All right, he is an 81. He is 26. Let's just go over some of Deion Jones' stats. So, and tell me you would take this dude with the 15th overall pick. 90 acceleration, 89 tackle, 83 hit power, 93 play recognition, 89 pursuit.
Definitely. How old is old boy?
And Deion is 24. Deion Jones is 24.
Oh, yeah, that too. But yeah, you actually just got to wait till the offseason gets here, see who gets with that pick.
Yeah, I think the Bills won this trade right now. I honestly, I seen Deion as a huge get. I think Deion is a middle. He also has 82 zone coverage. I mean, this dude that's it. You're good for middle linebacker for the rest of Madden. And middle linebacker is a huge thing in Madden. So I'm giving it to the Bills.
Yeah, I see that. I think if you take Jones with that speed, and you have to move him to an outside linebacker because of that speed. Because the middle, he gonna get picked on.
All right, we're gonna go over some player of the weeks and see who we think was the best player of the week per everything. We'll do the 6 weeks, and then we'll probably just see if y'all got anything to say. But we'll try and go through this pretty fast. I know there's 6 weeks we got to go through. First week, Garth.
Sorry, I got to dip out.
See you later, buddy. It's fine. The first week, Garcon for the New York, Rookie of the Year last year. He had 17 carries, 223 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, a fumble, 4 receptions for 38 yards. So he had a pretty big year. Stokely, the 69 rated rookie quarterback for the Chargers, also had 26 for 37, 332 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, an interception. He got sacked once and also had 3 carries for 10 yards. Who's the offensive player of the week to you guys, Garcon or Stokely, Demario?
I would go with Stokely, just for the simple fact that I played against him. He actually performed better than his overall would make you think he would.
I go with him too.
BM?
The same. I go with him.
Those 3 passing touchdowns are pretty big, especially for a 69 overall quarterback.
Yeah, that's the reason why I would say the same thing. Just because
JR?
What was Garcon's stats again?
Garcon, 17 carries, 223 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 38 receiving yards.
Yeah, I got to go with the quarterback with the 3. If he had a receiving touchdown or almost 100 receiving yards, I think I go with the running back. That 3rd touchdown.
All right, let's go with. You're right. I'm going with that too, especially 69 overall. I don't remember who he played week 1, but I was actually fairly surprised he rocked him with that. So let's go with defense. Luke Kuechly, 4 tackles, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown. Hooker, 2 tackles, 3 interceptions. Who do you got, Demario?
I go with Kuechly because he scored a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, he also had 3 turnovers.
Touchdowns, and the turnovers. I go with him too.
All right, JR?
I go with him too. He got pretty much every defensive stat you can get in that game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right. I'm going with Kuechly too. Second year, Matt Gratuduria. I don't know how to say this dude's name. The Bears quarterback that he just drafted, Gratuduria. Yeah, he's got a lot of letters in his name. There's a couple T's, A, some D's. Anyways, he was 27 for 41, 407 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and got sacked 4 times. On the offside, Melvin Gordon had 10 carries, 165 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and 2 receptions for 18 yards. Who do you got, the 5-touchdown quarterback or the 160-yard rusher, Melvin Gordon, for the Chargers in his 2nd straight week of a offensive player of the week?
I would go with the quarterback.
Okay. BM?
5 touchdowns, no interceptions?
2 interceptions.
And how much touchdowns did Gordon have?
3.
I go with quarterback. He had more. If he had one more touchdown.
I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with the running back because, the Bears had 5 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions to go along with them 5 touchdowns. And the running back didn't have any turnovers. He didn't lose a fumble or anything. That's a decent amount of yards. That's where I'm going.
Okay. I'm going to go with the quarterback. That's pretty impressive, especially coming from the Bears owner, who I know he has some issues passing the ball occasionally. Only 2 interceptions for him. That's a lights-out performance. All right, defensive side of the week. Luke Kuechly, 2nd straight week in a row. Luke Kuechly was on a monster tear these first 2 weeks. 7 tackles, 1 sack, 5 interceptions, and a touchdown. And then Chandler Jones from the Chiefs had 8 tackles, 4 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. No-brainer for me. Luke Kuechly, 5 interceptions and a touchdown.
Luke Kuechly.
Demario, who you got?
Yeah, Kuechly. Like, that many turnovers, there's no way he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Shit.
JR?
Shit, the touchdown's the icing on the cake. He already got it with the 5 interceptions.
Like, after throwing it 5 times to him, you think you learn?
Man, Luke is a monster. Unanimous NSL Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row, Luke Kuechly. What a monster. All right, week 3 here we got Russell Wilson. He had 354 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, got sacked 5 times, also 3 carries for another 50 yards. So very, very similar to Gatrudia, whatever his name is, although he also had the another 50 rushing yards. And the opposite was Abdullah of the Jets, 20 carries, 111 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 4 carries for another 49 yards. Who do you got, Russell Wilson or Abdullah? DeMario?
What was Abdullah's stats again?
20 carries, 111 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 4 receptions for 49 yards.
It's leaning towards Russell, but I'll go Abdullah there.
Okay. BM?
I'll go with Abdullah. The touchdowns and everything.
Okay. Who do you got, JR?
I'm thinking Abdullah just because of the 3 touchdowns, because that tells you a lot.
Okay.
You know, Wilson. It's still a tough case because he scored 5. Yeah, it was 2 interceptions, but them 50 rushing yards I added some too. So it's a close one.
I'm going Russell Wilson myself. I think regardless of 2 interceptions, he still had his 49 yards on the ground and 354 yards passing, plus 5 passing touchdowns. It's hard to do in NSL, any league.
Yeah, that's a close one.
All right. Looks like it's up there. Well, I think JR actually went for Abdullah, so Abdullah wins. Barron, 2 tackles, a sack, an interception, and a touchdown. Pretty average game. 3 tackles, a sack, and 2 interceptions and a forced fumble for Miles Jack. So it was a little weaker week for defensive. Who do you got, DeMario?
Was Miles Jackson?
Miles Jack had 3. Barron had 2 tackles, 1 sack, an interception, and a touchdown. So he got pretty much one thing across the board. Yeah. Jack had 3 tackles, a sack, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble. All right. So you're going. Okay. Who do you got, BM?
The second one, since he had 2 fumbles and an interception, he did a lot more work.
2 interceptions and a fumble, but yeah, he did have 3. All right. Who do you got, JR?
Miles Jack.
Yeah, I'm going Miles Jack as well. The 2 interceptions, the forced fumble, and a sack from the middle linebacker position. That's he did it all. Barron did have his touchdown, but I don't know what he did to earn that touchdown. It could have been a pass right to him.
That's potentially 3 turnovers that he caused, though.
Yeah. All right, next week we got Bredia, the halfback for the San Francisco 49ers. 19 carries, 101 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 receptions, and 66 yards, plus a receiving touchdown. That's a lot of stats, sorry. Or Amari Cooper, who had a little bit easier to say, 6 catches, 140 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns in the AFC. Who do you have, DeMar?
The running back, the Niners running back.
Okay. Who do you have, BM?
The running back.
Okay. Who do you got, JR?
Receiver. I can go receiver. I got to go running back. Did it multiple ways. You got to go.
Yeah, he touched the ball. I'm going to go running back, too. He touched the ball 24 times.
Yeah.
Median impact, so I'll go running back, too. On the defensive side of the ball, we had another nice little thing here. I'm curious to see where BM goes on this. Landon Collins had 6 tackles, 4 interceptions, and a touchdown. Butler had 3 tackles and 3 interceptions. Who do you got with that, DeMario?
I had to go Landon Collins on that one.
Yeah, it seems like he won every statistical category there. Who do you go in, BM? How big of an impact did Malcolm Butler have on that game?
He did have the 3 interceptions. And, what was the other guy again?
6 tackles, 4 interceptions, and a touchdown. Your guy had 3 tackles and 3 interceptions.
I'll probably go with the other guy, even though, if I at least have 1 touchdown, Butler, I don't remember if I did or not, but if I did, I would have gone with him. But I'll go with the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the first guy, too.
Yeah, Landon Collins took that all the way. He had an extra interception and an extra touchdown and some extra tackles from the safety positions. He seems like he was all over the field. Week 5, Galladay in Waka's first win, 8 receptions, 185 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. He went off. On the AFC side, we had DeMarco Murray, 10 carries, 155 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and then another 12 receiving yards. As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to go Galladay. He went off. So I'm going Galladay. Who do you got, Demario?
I would go the same thing. I would say Galladay.
Okay, BM.
Galladay too.
All right.
All right, I go Galladay too.
Okay, pretty unanimous. On the defensive side, we got Brown, the cornerback for the Cowboys. Cowboys been on here quite a bit. He had 4 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown. And then Hal, the free safety for, it looks probably, I don't even know who this dude is, but your free safety.
Oh, yeah.
7 tackles and 3 interceptions. He had a pretty good game himself. So is that who are you going, Demario, off of this? It looks like one guy had 3 less tackles and a touchdown, and the other guy had 3 more tackles. But one was a cornerback, one was a safety. So
that's a tough one right there. But it's harder for the safety to get involved because he's playing further back. So I go with the safety.
Okay, BM.
I go with the one that got the touchdown. He got the points for the team, so I think he did more work.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, I played this game, so like where he made those are red zone interceptions he made. So that's why I'm gonna go with him. I don't know how the other game played out, but damn, if he don't get the interception and it's like a made catch, it's at least 3 for like
Yeah.
Every time like Bates was getting a little momentum, here comes Hal with the interception and take that away.
That's a tough one. So you're going Hal?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. A safety, I feel like a safety always, they're not running back. Cornerbacks, depending on where the interception was, it might not even be that impressive of a touchdown. So it's hard to judge. 3 interceptions by both teams. I'm going to go with Brown, but it's close enough to me where I could see how Hal would go the other way. All right, week 6. Last week coming up, the Saints, Owens, the running back we're talking about, the reason he was able to give up to Kamara. This is actually 2 running backs, so we're comparing running back to running back here. Owens, 18 carries, 187 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 receptions for 52 yards, and a fumble. Le'Veon Bell had a little less yards. He had 26 carries, 172 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns as well, but only had 25 yards receiving on 2 catches. So it looks like he had about 40 all-purpose less yards on about 8 more carries, but he did not fumble. So who are you going, Owens or Bell, Demario?
Bell, because he didn't turn it over. Turnovers are killers.
Well, we don't know that Owens turned it over, but he definitely put the ball on the ground. All right, BM?
I go with Owens. You know, he just had more yards. I understand the turnover, but, you know, your workhorse, you got to do something.
Okay. JR, who do you got?
I'm going Bell. Like, I think when you turn the ball over, it damages how your production is. Like, you don't know that he turned it over, but damn sure was on the ground. It could have been. So,
that's true.
So, I mean, just think how much of a drive kill would be. Like, you go to fumble at your 4 or 5 yard line going in. That kills everything. Now you're giving the momentum back to us, and the defense just got hyped. So, you know that offense coming slinging.
Yeah. All right. I'll go LeBron Bell too. Y'all know how I feel about Le'Veon. The dude is a fucking stupid linebacker and running back. I'm sorry. Linebacker, running back, whatever he is. Dude that trucks people at 5'10".
Then he'll juke you out your shoes too.
He might be the best running back I've ever seen in Madden, and that's saying something because I've seen some Madden running backs. The dude can do it all. He's just sick. Anyways, I'll go LeBron Bell, as I like to call him. And at defensive side, we got Danny Treviant. This was against me. He had 7 tackles, a sack, an interception, and a touchdown. Pretty good game from him. On the AFC side, Allen had 6 tackles as a cornerback, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a touchdown. So who do we got there? That seems a pretty close one there, Demario. Who do you got?
I go with Trevathan.
Going Trev because he had the touch. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go the same thing. Touchdown.
Well, they both had touchdowns. Allen had 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a touchdown. Trevathan had a sack, an interception, and a touchdown.
2 interceptions, just kind of won it a little bit.
So, all right, that'd be Allen. JR, who do you giving it to?
I'm gonna give it to the linebacker, not because the cornerback also has 6 tackles. That means they got a lot of catches on you too, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then of course you could see they were trying them. So he did get 2 interceptions, but he also allowed a lot too.
Yeah. Trevin's played definitely a good game against me. That interception was all user right in front of me. He just took it back to the house. He definitely shut down my running game, which has been on point to this part almost single-handedly. So, but 3 turnovers is a lot to me. He did have those tackles. I'm going Allen. 3 turnovers to me is a lot. You know, even if you're getting hit, you're still turning the ball over 3 times compared to 1. And I know the final score for the Bears game was 52-21. So Trevian definitely was an MVP type candidate that instance. So that's it for the offensive player of the weeks and everything. Is there anything you guys want to say before we go? DeMario, anything, any words of warning to people that you're going to start coming for them and turn your season around, or are you just worried of one game at a time? Hopefully you can and see what happens at the end of the year.
Yeah, I can only take it 1 week at a time. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so just take it 1 week at a time, and we'll see what happens. All
right, fair enough. Patriots, you're 3-3. Anything you want to say about your season?
I'm coming for you, Bengals. I'm gonna make you 6-0-6 after my bye week. So get ready. We'll tackle you.
Well, this is assuming if I don't beat the Browns.
Yeah, that's true.
Texans, you're second in your very tough division. You have the Colts at 4-1. You're at 4-2. The Jaguars at 4-2, and the Titans at 3-3. What a tough division. What do you got to say?
Boy. And then it's not just a tough division. I play all my division games in the first 8 weeks. I play all the bitches. I mean, it's rough. It's been a long time since I'm happy to play outside my division. Those are like it feels like a bye week outside the division right now.
Let me also say you're the only winning team with a worse points for to points allowed ratio. You've scored 102 and allowed 111. So.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
I mean, if you look at the games I lost, they weren't close. they weren't close, and they beat me. Shit, they beat the living shit out of me. But a lot of the games I'm winning, they're close games, but I'm winning, so I'm not gonna complain.
Fair enough. I'm playing Waka this week, and then I got wasted, so I got 2 rough games coming up. I lost Xavier Rhodes and Stephon Diggs and my right guard for the entire stretch coming up, and then I get a bye week. So I'm hoping to take one of them. I'm not trying to be greedy and take both of them. I'm hoping Eli Manning for Waka throws some duds, and I take Waka both games this season. That would make me very happy. And that would definitely hurt him, I think, in his playoff chances also. I don't want to see him in the playoffs. I think I have a good chance of doing something in the playoffs if I can just keep Waka out of them.
Yeah, trust me. I know about injuries.
So,
I lost so many defensive tackles. I had to ask you, is this okay? I said, fuck yeah, I'll just go get me another defensive tackle. I lost Braxton Miller, Lamar Miller, both of them.
You did lose. And while I'm sitting here complaining about injuries, I am definitely – by far not the worst hurt team. That distinction would go to the Buccaneers. Let me just say who all of his people are injured. His starting left tackle, Donovan Smith, 5 weeks. Mike Evans, 3 weeks. His starting defensive tackle, Chris Baker, 2 weeks. His starting running back, Marlon Mack, 4 weeks. His starting right guard, Can, 4 weeks. His starting left guard, Cameron's 4 weeks. And rookie wide receiver, Jeffrey Young, 6 weeks.
I'm not gonna lie, like I went and looked through the injuries. Looking at his injury list and the Browns injury list made me feel a lot better because look, I'm missing Ian Williams, Clowney, DJ Reader, Braxton Miller, and Lamar Miller. So they're big parts of my offense and defense, but
I would say you're hit pretty hard as well. You, the Browns, and the Bucks are the 3 definitely worst hit. But Clowney's coming back next week, as well as Braxton Miller.
Oh yeah.
For you, so.
Well, he got 2 more weeks.
Should I bring back James White?
Because
both them boys says they'll be back next week, homie. You got Jadavion and Braxton Miller back next week, according to this.
I swear I was on there earlier and said 2 more weeks. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we advanced. So now it's 1 week.
Oh, today is Wednesday. That's why.
We advanced. So you got some injuries. Browns, they've lost some people, but they've only lost one good. Well, they lost their quarterback, Alan Quarsher, the guy he was starting. They also lost Joe Thomas, who retired on the NASL, so he deserves that injury.
Yeah.
So all in all, it looks like a pretty. It actually seems like a pretty tame season, except for those 3 teams, and only one of them I think has really lost somebody that, like a lot of people, that's affecting their season dramatically to this point. So, sorry, Bucks. I know you're not a fan of the injuries. You got a pretty good squad there on the IR, though. So,
yeah, it's a rough one, but
sure. Yeah, he's definitely got an entire offense over here on the IR. But it is what it is. You still got Jamie's. I guess I don't know what to tell you. In about 4 weeks, you'll be all right.
Shoot, right now, take advantage of every quarterback seems like they're A-Rod. Shit.
Well, I think since the title update, actually, it seems to have decreased quarterback accuracy considerably, in my opinion. But
okay. Shit, no, I don't know if it's just me, but it just seemed like, I don't know, Cam Newton and ASL just threw the game of his life, I swear.
As soon as you traded him away.
I guess he decided he was playing his old team and just decided to go ham, you know?
Fair enough. All right, guys, that's about it. All I got to say. Anything anybody wants to say before they go?
No, have a good night.
All right, guys. See y'all later. Peace.